There are many issues which confound you. I realize that. You understand man's man and why are certain things not susceptible to rational thought and the like. I don't know. But one of the stories which I find to be really interesting, fantastically interesting, is the very simple issue of why is Carmelita Harris there in the first place? Why is she there in the first place? How did this ever come about? With all of the talented people available and all of the wonderfully talented women and people of color and people not of color and people who don't have any color, people who are colorless, the colorful, the bland, the drab, whatever you want to call it, out of this entire panoply of humanity, this pastiche and myriad and mosaic of individuals of all stripe and stripes. How did anybody ever pick this jadrul, this simpleton, this logorrheic, logolalic, psychophasic lunatic by the name of Carmelita Kamala Harris? I don't know. And why now? What happened now? She was polling at nothing. Nothing. What, 2%? She dropped out. She's unlikable. She's unelectable. You know her story with Willie Brown. You know what that's about. Okay, fine. That was then. But now, vice president? Breaking the tie of the Senate? Did they not realize she can't speak? Did they not realize this woman doesn't have any idea what she's talking about? No. I guess they did. So we can talk about this forever. We can say, well, is the shadow government really the people who run the world? Are they really that incompetent? Are they really that silly? Do they really not know? I don't know. Or but here's the best. You've got to see the way and Nancy Pelosi basically dissed her, threw her under the bus, threw shade at her, whatever the hell the phrase is. Anderson Cooper, that twit, asked her, well, are you recognize? Well, endorsing her? Wow, the president certainly is entitled to anybody that he wants. Now, meanwhile, they know they've already dumped JoJo, right? You know that. It's already done. He's finished. He's through. Okay. So she said, what's her name? She says, well, I mean, it's his call. It's his call. Wait a minute. Do you endorse Carmelita Harris in the event Joe can't? Well, she never answered the question. Now, here's the deal. Why? Is it bad blood? Does it go back to California? No, but it has to do with California. It's the California mafia. The D'Alessandros is her, the Pelosi's, the Newsoms, not it goes back to the Browns too, but also the Getty. This is the new configuration. Why? Because it's going to be Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom and the Gettys. It's like they're so incestuous, intertwined. The Browns, the Gettys, the Newsoms, the Pelosi's. I mean, you can't to even describe it, to even try to explicate it goes to show you, well, it's very difficult. So here's the way it works. Why is this happening? It's happening for a variety of reasons, and it's happening for reasons that one day you're going to find out. But in the meantime, let me explain to you what's happening. They're going to dump. He's done. He's finished. He's through. He is done. You realize, right? He's done. I mean, it is done. And you can talk about, well, why is he? What is it? I don't care why. He's done. He's done. He's finished. He's through. Now, what's important to note, which is very, very critical, what I want you to understand is very simple. Why? But before I do, I want you to please do me a great favor and subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And subscribe. And don't forget our incredible sponsor, MyPillow.com. MyPillow.com, which is this one over here. MyPillow.com is that one. MyPillow.com has been with us, and we have been with them. And by the way, Prepare with Lionel's a great one too. That's your 3-month emergency food kit deal for $200, which I've talked about, which is a no-brainer. But for the purposes of My Pillow, MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel, you get a free gift. I know what you're thinking. The gift is free, right? Isn't that redundant? Tautological? So sue me. They've got inventory, sales, overstock sales, discounts on every item you can imagine to enjoy a degree of luxuriation you never thought possible. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. Go there. Go there. Go there. And love them. Respect them. Now, I don't know when I first heard this. More than a year ago. More than a year ago. You have this group now called the donor class. And the donor class are these people who theoretically are running the Democratic show. And these are folks who are involved in this world in which they used to kind of enjoy kind of being in charge. But something happened for reasons we'll never understand why Joe Biden gets to be the person that they stole the election. I mean, a campaign for against Trump. Why Joe Biden? Now, if the truth be told, you don't need anybody in particular. You just take a pen and you sign it and you give it to him and say, Joe, you want to sign these? Okay. Carmelita, you want to sign it too? We don't care who you are. Just sign our stuff. Sign our program. Sign our policy. Sign them. Be a part of this. Just sign it. Sign it. Sign it. Sign it. That's it. Okay, fine. Now, can anybody do this? Of course. But when you also have somebody who is the biggest crook who makes LBJ look like Gandhi. LBJ, by the way, is one of the most vile, merciless, absolutely vicious crook presidents. I mean, he's a gangster type. He is Lucky Luciano. He's not just a kind of an old-time politician. But he was at least good about it. He had WLBJ. He had Lady Bird pretend to run it. What Biden does is Biden says, I don't care. I've been here for so long. Any fear of being caught has been lost. I've done everything I wanted to do. Where have the millions and millions of DuPont? Look at where he lives, and his family, it passes on to them. Hunter, you can do whatever you want. You're going to go, you bedraggled, meth-mouthed, crack-addled, whore-chasing, degenerate, reprobate waste of flesh. You're going to go, and you're going to be my bag. Now, you could have gotten somebody else. But they're so cheap. They want somebody on the inside who is going to write everything down on a laptop and leave it. Forget it. By the way, that laptop from hell went nowhere. So finally, the donors, the people who make the money, who are saying, look, that's enough. That's enough. We're done. And what they're doing is you're seeing them retreat all the protection. You're seeing the plea deal fail. You're seeing the indictment of the gun charges. You're seeing everything being reversed. Everything is reversed now. That's the beautiful part about this. And Nancy Pelosi, her boy, this is the California mafia. If Gavin Newsom, do you know who he's going to bring in? By the way, remember who his ex-wife is. He's going to bring in his legions from California side. And this is Nancy's dream. I don't care if she's 83 or 103. This is it. This is a new transition of power. You're going to see people, and you're also going to see the Gettys come in. You're going to see it's going to be so incredible to watch what happens. And let me ask you something. You know, and I know somehow. I don't know how they're going to do it, but you know, and I know that they're going to make sure that somehow through some machination, through something, that Gavin wins. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Oh, they'll make it look good. It'll seem like a regular, election. But somehow things will just kinda go wrong. And if it's Trump, who it seems like it has to be, if it's Trump, If it's Trump, you will see absolutely the most incredible I hope our good friend Dinesh D'Souza has all of his cameras going because you're gonna see, switcheroos, the likes of which you never even thought imaginable. Imaginable, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Kamala's gone, finished, done, unceremoniously, and Nancy Pelosi knew she wanted to do this on purpose, because you gotta remember something, you may not watch CNN or Morning Joe, but to the donor class, to the White House staff, to the Washington crew, and all of the lounges, and all of the meetings, and all of the stores, and all of the gyms, and all of the stuff, they want so Nancy Pelosi is basically saying, I could have easily said she could have said to Tucker, to, Anderson, "Don't bring her up," and he would've said, "Okay, fine." But she wanted Carmelita's name brought up so she could deliberately look the other way and ignore her. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Don't ever forget that, my friends. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget reality. Don't ever forget. All right? Good. All right, dear pals, thank you so much. Don't forget mypillow.com promo code Lionel, mypillow.com promo code Lionel. Check out the Giza deals. Oh my god. And also, when it comes to emergency food, I've told you this. The only place to go, preparewithlionel.com. All right, dear friends, have a great day, Lori. Say, I'd love to see what your thoughts and comments are like. That's sorry to see Kamala go. I know you loved her so much. I know her speeches, especially the community bank speech was one of the best. The community bank is a bank in the community. Our community. Thanks, Carm. Unbelievable. Psychophagia. Look it up. Now, do me a favor, dear friend. Please, if you would and you could, comment as you see fit.